Well, if you're looking for a furry addition to your family, now may be the time. It's Pet Talk Tuesday, and that means, well, you know what that means. Dustin Yurman of the Buffalo City Animal Shelter joins us, and special guest, Dr. Sue Wylegala. Happy New Year. We haven't seen you in a little bit.
Happy New Year.
It's good to see you.
I know, same to you.
And we've just made a new friend this morning.
I know.
Ben.
He's adorable.
He is really cute. Dustin, what can you tell us about him?
Ben is a pit bull mix, probably a little under a year old, came to the shelter as a stray. Just went up for adoption a couple of days ago. He is the sweetest guy ever. He just loves to cuddle and snuggle, and he's only happy when he's right next to you, which is typical of this breed. They love their people so much. He's dog friendly, people friendly. You know, little pup. Needs some work on puppy manners and stuff like that. He came in a little rough shape with some, some balding on his skin, but we're working on it. We're getting him better, so it shouldn't be a big problem to get him all healthy. And he's really going to make a great addition to a lot of different homes, as long as you've got time and dedication to having a young dog, because they do require some work.
How is Ben with other animals?
He is very dog friendly. We do not know how he does with cats, but we can have him cat tested at the shelter. We just don't do it. We do it upon request. So it's one of those things we'll find out. If an adopter needs to know that question, we can test them there. But dogs, he does great. Regardless of that, if you do have any other dogs, this goes for any dog at the shelter, you'd have to bring your dog in just to make sure everyone gets along, because it's all about finding the right chemistry for your family. And ultimately, as much as you want to make the decision, the dogs make that decision for you on who you're going to take home.
He's very calm, cool, and collected
for now.
At this moment in front of the camera. For the moment.
Because
he was all excited.
He gets to snuggle right now, so he's happy.
Yes, well, he seems like such a friendly dog. And Dr. Sue, today we're talking about spraying and neutering.
Right, spraying and neutering your pet. So it is probably the most important thing that you can do overall to keep the health of your pet. Now, talk to your veterinarian on recommendations, but it really, it is something that we strongly recommend for all of our animals. And some of the timeline may be a little bit different. Spaying both your cats and your dogs, we usually recommend, prior to that first heat cycle. Every heat cycle that they go through, they do have some degree of increased risk of breast cancer later on in life. So it's very important to get them spayed at a little bit of an early age. Some of the recommendations for neutering animals, and we still strongly recommend it, but the recommendations on timing, talk to your veterinarian on what they recommend, but we're pushing the timeline back a little bit for some of the large breed dogs. Research is always coming out, and there is some recent research that indicates for large breed dogs, it may be a little advantageous to actually wait a little bit longer. Still do it, but wait till they're closer to a year of age. They think that the hormones may have some degree of a protective level to prevent things like hip dysplasia, bone cancers, certain forms of spleen cancer. So talk to your veterinarian. Don't be afraid to ask questions and have a discussion on when the ideal time to have your pet neutered is. Whether they're making a recommendation to still keep it at 6 months or wait until a little bit older. But it's really important for their overall health to minimize behavior issues, and certainly the biggest thing is to prevent unwanted pregnancies, that we get these animals spayed and neutered. There's so many pets, as I'm sure Dustin can attest to, that are in shelters, and really the biggest fix for all of it is to make sure that we have as many animals spayed and neutered as we possibly can.
And this is something that's good for your animal.
It really is. It really is. It's beneficial for their long-term health. I think it enhances that human-animal bond. You don't have to deal with the female dogs that go into heat every 6 months. You less risk of a dog running after a female in heat, less risk of marking their territory. So there's not only medical benefits for both, but there are some behavior benefits for both as well. So certainly something that's really part of your basic veterinary care. And if you are getting a pet through the shelters, they're usually already spayed or neutered. But if you're getting a private animal, it should be something that you should count on as these are the basic things that I'm going to need to be responsible for. And part of that, the first thing is, physical exams, vaccinations, spaying and neutering that animal.
Can you talk about some of the myths about spaying and neutering, about why people don't?
Because there are a lot of myths before we wrap up today's show.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think the biggest one I hear is
they're going to get fat.
It's going to change their personality.
Yeah, it doesn't. And sometimes people want to get them neutered. They go, oh, it'll calm them down. And I go, no, their basic personality, their temperament, and their behavior is there this is what they are, this is their temperament pattern. And so it's not going to change their basic personality pattern at all. And it's not going to, I'm not going to spay them or neuter them because they're going to get fat. It's calories in, calories out, just like it is for us. I'd like to make excuses myself, but it's calories in and calories out.
I think the one that pisses me off the most is when people say, I don't want to spay and neuter my dog because I wouldn't do that to myself. That's like what the anthropomorphism.
Well, these are all great tips to know. And Dustin, before we wrap up, if we want to take Ben home, what's the first thing we should do? We got about 10 seconds
Go down to the animal shelter, 380 North Oak Street. Come to meet him.
It's that simple. And if you have animals at home, bring them too.
Yes.
You can be one big happy family. Thank you so much. Dustin and Dr. Sue will be back tomorrow right here on AM Buffalo. See you then, everybody.